Hello everybody, I'm Snooty, and today, this is not your usual video, this is not Grandpa's Farm, we're just on Riverbend Springs here, and today, I'm going to be showing you guys some of the best equipment, in my personal opinion, that you can get in base game FS25, no mods, none of that, like the best starter vehicles, the best like max out things, etc. So, we're starting off here on Riverbend Springs, the normal base map you join in on. You usually get offered, you usually have cows to start off with, etc. So let's say you have not touched this map, you have all the starter equipment. In this case, I don't have any of the starter equipment. You harvest the fields, you feed the cows that have been provided to you. You have some straw, and you got your canola left over, and you got like $500,000 to your name, and you want a bigger harvester, or a bigger plow. Now, the in-game plows are not good, I know, but if you were to buy, I believe when they start out, they give you this one. But if they don't and they give you like this one, the best plow, in my personal opinion, that you would want to buy is this one. Now, the reasoning for this is because, yes, it's like the medium-ish one, but it's because these ones tilts from different sides, yes, but they're a pain to use, if that makes sense. Like here, let's buy this. And we'll buy this. These are like some crazy things. We're gonna get just a big old tractor here. Biggest tractor I can get that is not articulated and doesn't get on my nerves when I use it. And look, so this is, this is just the tractor that I'm using to show you this. So this plow is like 200 horsepower. This is like 300 something, and it's only like 2 meters bigger. To unfold this, you turn these to the side, which, you know, that makes sense for a plow. But the other thing is this is so unnecessary because it's one, very expensive. Like, if you look at this plow, it's $75,000 just for a 2 meter increase from this, and that's an extra like 25 grand from this one. Plus, it requires like 150 more horsepower as well. So this is how this one works. It's not actually fully attached to the thing. It doesn't turn with you. It takes so long to turn. Like, look at this. I can turn this thing and it won't start turning until I drive straight with it. Which I understand is kind of how most things are, but you can see I'm turning and then I go straight and it takes that long to go back straight. Whereas you detach that one and you attach this one. This one actually is attached to the vehicle. Well, sort of. But this one turns much faster than that one because it's relatively smaller. And you don't have to unfold this when you first buy it. You can put it down, and then if you really wanted to, you can flip it over so that you could do the other side. This one is much bigger. Well, I mean better. It's much better compared to this one. It doesn't really matter the size of said plow. If you look at, yes, this one's much bigger, but if it just was flat out backwards, you would probably want to get that if it's just a $25,000 increase. But since they are diagonal, this one is better because it's easier to control overall compared to that one over there. So if you're using just base game plows, that's my opinion on those ones. You should use these ones. Opinion. I'm selling these now because I don't need these anymore. Gonna sell you, and we're gonna sell you. Next up on the list, we're gonna talk about like cultivators and disc harrows because they're basically the exact same thing. They're basically the exact same. Just one is, I think, like prepares the thing, and then like, yeah, okay. If you have a decent bit of money to your name, don't get this. Get this, because why would you want this if this is cheaper and larger? And requires way less horsepower. So a lot of people think, oh, if we have a decent bit of money, I should buy like this one or like this one. No, this is $30,000 more than this, and it's just a 0.9 meter increase. It's not one that you would want to buy. This one is super small and compact. You could easily fit it somewhere. This one looks weird, first of all. Like, I don't know. But, like, this is the one that you're obviously going to end up getting in the end, and this one's a great one. I love that one. But some people might be, like, a $40,000 increase from that. You've got all of these other ones. I believe they usually start you off with this John Deere little one here. These are all the exact same size, I believe, except this one. The John Deere one, if you're starting off and you have like nothing to start with, get the John Deere one. This is cheap. It's literally the exact same width as this, and even bigger than this one. And these ones are literally more expensive than it by a mile. Same with this one. Same with this one. Like, buy the John Deere one when you're first starting out. When you want to get a little bit of an upgrade, get this one because it's a very big increase on price, but it's worth it because you either buy this one, which is $20,000 more dollars, just to give you the same thing. You buy this one, which is more expensive but smaller, or you buy this one, which is $40,000 more, just for a 0.9 meter increase. If you don't want this one, you save your money to get like something like these. But this will be your best bet when getting a cultivator, especially same with this one because like it's not, you don't need to fold it at all. It's decently sized. This one you can fold up, unfold, etc., etc., and it's very, very nice. It looks good too. Like, it's easy to work with, and this piece swivels as well with the vehicle. So as you turn, it turns quickly with you, and then it unfolds, and then you just put it down, and boom, you can now use your beautiful cultivator. Amazing. Drop it onto me because I'm just better. Disc arrows. Disc arrows are like the one thing that like I don't know why you would ever use those. I don't know what the point of a disc arrow is, quite frankly. But if you're gonna use a disc arrow, because I'm pretty sure they are cheaper than a cultivator, they do the exact same thing. It's shallow cultivating. So as you can see here, disc arrows are used for shallow cultivation of fields. This is used to prep them for the next sowing, same thing. I don't know. But you go from 3 meters to 6.3. But if you're gonna get a disc arrow, I recommend you don't get any of these big ones. You never want a super big disc arrow. They're not very good. You either get you probably would want to get this one because this one, as you can see, you can actually plant things. So this one you can plant like oilseed radish, which is good for helping to fertilize that soil. That's what oilseed radish is used for. And then you just plow it right back up and you can disc it again. Grass you could also plant with this. Like this, you can put a cedar attachment onto this and use it. And it's a decent size. It's 8 meters. This one's 10.5. It's a little bit bigger, but it's double the price just for 2-ish meters. So really, if you're gonna get a disc arrow, you should get this one, and it's not very difficult to use either. You could hire an AI worker, use auto steer if you really wanted to. And then you've got these cultivators. That's it. Power heroes. I don't know what these are for, quite frankly. I think they're just like cultivators, except you need like they require more power. Maybe I don't know what the point of those are. I never use those. These are for grapes and olives. You're never gonna really use those. These are also for grapes and olive as well, such as like getting rid of the mulch and stuff. These are useless. Stone pickers. I know a lot of people who play the game without stones on, but if you play the game with stones, you only have one option for stone pickers. But honestly, if you're getting stone pick, get a modded stone picker because stone pickers in this stone picker in game is not very good. Get a modded one, it's better. Low loaders, you really don't have many options here. Either get this one or get this one. They're both very good. They serve the same purpose. When it comes to tractors, now we're getting into the deeper bits here. When it comes to tractors, for small tractors, if you're going to do like vineyard stuff, like we'll use these for mowing, etc., etc., I would recommend, this is not because I'm a John Deere fan, it's because of the fact that this tractor has a lot of horsepower. Like this one, base price is $50,000 more dollars for the exact same amount of horsepower. This tractor's cheap, and it has 100 horsepower, which can run mowers, fertilizer spreaders. Like, it will run a decent sized windrower as well. Like, it'll run a decent sized one as well. It can run this most likely. I've used it on that before. It works on that. It runs this. Like, it runs windrowers. It can run a tedder. It can run a small little mower here. Like it can run up to this mower. Like, all that. It can run a forage wagon. It can run a baler. It can run a lot of these things. It's like, it's a good tractor if you're going to do mowing. It's a great tractor for mowing. You could also, if you really didn't want to buy that and you wanted a little more, I guess you could say horsepower maybe, you could go with like the Kloss, or you could go with the Dutzfar, which this one is the exact same price as this base, but this one gives you more horsepower overall. So you could then upgrade it for an extra 8,500 and you got 143 horsepower. But personally, I would recommend you get this if you're trying to start small. If you're getting medium tractors and you want to do like, there's sort of like what you might use for maybe plowing, or what else, maybe maybe cultivating, plowing, running a grain trailer or something. Here's one thing. These are good tractors. These two are the exact same tractor, just retextured. They're good tractors. If you really wanted to be cheap and do want to spend a lot of money on a really nice tractor, get these. They're cheap. They're the cheapest ones in here. They're by far one of the best options you have. Or get this, which is 230 horsepower, and it's relatively the same price as these. It's only $30,000 more. But you can upgrade these to get yourself 225 horsepower, and that's the most you could get. You could put duals on these if you're planning on, I don't know why, you could get duals on these if you really wanted, etc. So these are good tractors. You could get these. If you don't want to get those and you want a little bit more horsepower with nice pricing, get one of these, because it goes from 225 as the max to 234, which the base is, though, is, oh, actually, no, don't get that one. I haven't used this tractor very much. I don't use 6Rs. They're too expensive. I never use John Deere 6Rs. Use like this, or, I hate to say it, but get the case as well. The case, this one gives you 225 for 80,000. This one gives you 224 for 300, for like 200,000. But this one you can also upgrade over time. You can get a front loader on this one, which you can't get on this. So quite frankly, if you wanted something that was like you could use for picking up bales as well with like a forklift or some bale spikes, use a case like this, or like use a John Deere, because I believe these have front loader attachers as well. Yep. John Deeres are one of the more customizable vehicles. So if you're looking for something with like customizability, like the able to be changing things, like you put front weight on this, you could put a 3-point there, you could get a front loader if you wanted to, you could get a panorama window, because like, why wouldn't you want that? I don't know. It's an extra $5,000 for a window on your roof. But like the John Deeres are a lot more customizable compared to others like this or like this. But these are good tractors for a decent bit of horsepower. So $80,000 for 225 horsepower. And if you're not wanting a front loader, get one of these. Don't care. If you want a front loader, get this case or this John Deere. But if you want something that goes 234 horsepower with a front loader, this is going to be 221. This is already going to be 230. So if you want something with a front loader and a lot of horsepower, get this, because this is literally cheaper with more horsepower and a front loader. So it will be cheaper. So if you really want one with a front loader, get this or get this case when it comes to mediums. When it comes to larges, I will say in my personal opinion, I do not like using articulated tractors for like plowing, running a grain cart, etc. If it's a really big grain cart, like a mother bin type auger wagon grain cart, like that, use an articulated tractor. That's like a reason to use one. But to not use one, and you just need a tractor for like around the farm that has a lot of horsepower, get an. So this is the thing that everybody gets confused on. The only difference between these two tractors is the fuel storage in them. This one is tracked as well. It's got these tracks, so it has better turning radius, really good turning radius. And they're the exact same based on this, except this is $70,000 more because it has 4 wheels, but they're tracked, and this has like 100,000 more liters of fuel space. But if you really were to get a tractor in that case for that reason, go for this 8R. My reasoning for this is because if you look at this, to put it at its maximum horsepower, it's $460,000. To put this at its max horsepower, it's $369,000. And you could get a front weight, you could get a 3-point on this, you could get electricity going through it, you could get US, Europe design. This is a much better tractor for bang for your buck. If you want a lot of horsepower, if you're going to be pulling like a mother bin and you don't want an articulated tractor specifically, get this. It's not an articulated tractor. It has the little like where if these ones move to the left, these ones move to the right to help you turn better. You could change it from crawler tracks, because I know that adds a lot. I know you can, I guess. I did not know that, but you used to be able to change these and take the crawler tracks off, but you can't anymore. But look at this. You could get 653 horsepower for $600,000, and it's not articulated either. That's not as much as the quad track, but it's more than the 9R, and it's not articulated. So the 9R, if you're going to use a mother bin and you're going to need a lot of horsepower at once, use like the quad track or the 9R. You don't need a 9RX. It's an extra like $80,000 just for an extra 50-ish horsepower. There's no need to use a 9RX. If you're gonna want an articulated tractor like a John Deere like this, get a quad track or this 9R. If you want like a lot of horsepower, this gives you 691 horsepower for $624,000. This one's base price is 685,000, but it gives you 778. So if you want a lot of horsepower for a decent price, that's relatively close to this one's maximum. Got a quad track. But if you don't want that over that 700 mark, get this 9R. When it comes to semi trucks, I don't tend to drive them a lot. I like this one because it's nice, but all of their top speeds are the exact same. They're all the exact same, so really the only difference is horsepower. And when it comes to, these are considered semi-trucks for some reason, these are put in the trucks category. This is good for using around the farm. Like, you could get the flatbed version, you could put some like bales and stuff in the back of this. You could get this box body for transporting pallets if you wanted. You get the tipper to transport like sorry. You can cut that out. You get this tipper for like getting grain and transporting around your farm. When it comes to a semi-truck, it's really based on your preference, if I'm being completely honest here. It's based on the preference of what you like. So if you like an international, or like if you like a Mac, these are relatively the exact same semi-truck, except this one's just base price is more expensive. This one's base price with a sleeper cap, which is what the black one offers, with the mirrors, 124,000. This one starts as a base price of 143. If you wanted maximum horsepower, 505 horsepower, you get 171,000. If you get maximum horsepower on this with the sleeper, it's 150. This one is just so it's all blacked out. That's the only point of that vehicle, is for it to be completely blacked out. But you can do that with this one, except it's just the grille. That's really the only difference on these. So really, if you wanted to get a max semi truck, get this one. Because this one is basically the exact same, actually, and it is actually cheaper. So if you want one that looks a little more old-styled, get this one. Because this one's a beautiful semi-truck. I use that one a lot. But if you want one that looks newer and good, get this one, because it's just better than this. It's pointless to get this if you're just going to get this. This is just a flex on people, for being completely honest. This one is it looks good. It's a great model. I always use this one because of how good it just looks. This semi-truck is like one of the semi-trucks I would buy and never drive. I would drive it to like shows because it just looks so good. But, like, you get the beige, you get brown, you get black. This is one I should go with. You get red. Like, it looks amazing. And it's super cheap. For literally 400 horsepower, you can get it for 60,000. Come on, people. It's cheap. Admit it. Admit it. I know you don't want to, but admit it. You could get this thing for $50,000. You could literally just take off all this stuff. It's $45,000, and you get 400 horsepower on a semi-truck for like half of this one. It's crazy. If you want a Volvo semi, trust me here. This one. This one gives you 500 horsepower. It has a longer chassis. Like, you can change this. You could take off all this stuff, and you'll still get it for 149,000, which is still more expensive than this one. This one, you should get this one. I know it looks ugly. Like, I hate the look of this. I hate the look of this on my truck. But it's European, which is why I don't like it mainly. I don't like European semi-trucks. It's just not my style. But you could get this for $137,000, and it's 600 horsepower off the bat. This one's 500 horsepower no matter what customization you have on it. This is, if you're going to be towing something and you want it to be far away from the semi, get this, because it's got a lot of horsepower and it works well. Or get this one, because this one's also got it. Or if you're really specifically like Volvo and you want a lot of horsepower, but you don't mind if it's close up to your semi, get this one. It looks great. It's simple, and it's whatever you would want in a semi. There's also the electric version. I don't recommend getting the electric one because it's so much more expensive for no reason. Cars and bikes, you don't really need a truck. If you wanted to like take your friends around, just get a sidekick. It works fine. Miscellaneous, we don't care about that. When it comes to like skid loaders, skid steers, forklifts, front loaders, wheel loaders, telehandlers, etc. Cut that out. When it comes to front loaders, skid steers, telehandlers, front loaders, I said that again already. God damn it. Front loaders, skid steers, telehandlers, forklifts, wheel loaders, etc. If you want something for just around the farm, get a skid steer. I don't care which one you get. Whichever one you like better, they both serve the exact same purpose relatively. I don't think the Kubota has much better difference. This one's faster and it has less horsepower. This one's slower, but it has more fuel storage and more horsepower. So it really depends on what you're going to use it for. forklifts are kind of pointless. They're not the kind of thing you would want to use. But in my opinion, if you're going to get a forklift, get this electric one because it's got less horsepower, but it's much smaller and easier to store in places. This one's much chunkier and it's powered by gas. So yeah, when it comes to telehandlers, I personally don't use telehandlers, but if I was going to use one, get this one. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is because this one is $10,000 cheaper and it's 30 horsepower less. This one is is more expensive, but it has less horsepower. This one is a little bit cheaper, but it has less. This one is like the best you can do. This one's not even a telehandler. It's more of a wheel loader type thing, a really small wheel loader or a front loader. So this is one of the best ones you could get, in my opinion. I know it's not like a brand that everybody knows, but it's one of the best telehandlers you can get. Wheel loaders are used for more like transporting a lot of logs and bigger things. If it comes to wheel loaders, get this one. Get this one. Because you've got this one, which is $50,000 cheaper, but I mean, it really depends on what you're going to use it for as well. This one's electric, which is just this, but electric for $10,000 extra. It's pointless. This one is better than all of these, obviously. It has more horsepower. It's much bigger compared to these ones as well. These ones are much smaller. So it depends on what you're going to be using for it. That's what the thing is. It's like these all are based off of what you're using it for. Like in this case, if you're using this to like lift up multiple pallets at once, get a Kubota. If you're using it for just like one pallet at a time or like one small little thing around your farm, get the New Holland. If you're getting this, it really, really depends on what you want in this situation. Like this one's the best for your bang for your buck, but it's one of the most expensive ones in this category, so it depends on what you're looking for and what your budget is. These, really only you should get this one. I know it's electric, which is annoying, but it's better. These, again, depends on what you're using it for. I don't use wheel loaders unless I'm like doing a lot of logging. I need to move a lot of logs at once. When it comes to grain trailers, everybody's like, oh my god, use the semi-trailer one, use the semi-trailer one. Then you would have to buy a semi-truck along with it. And if, in my case, I'm using this as an example, if you're using an International, the one that I showed you, that's $40,000. This is $115,000 just for this and that semi. Whereas a cheap tractor, like a medium one that you usually might be running, with one of these, it's going to be more expensive, but overall it will pay off better because you can use the tractor for more than that. Semi-trucks can be used for grain and transporting things. That's really mainly what those are for. But the tractor in one of these is much better. In my opinion, if you're going to be using one of these pull-behinds, I don't recommend getting one like this with this separate axle at the front that turns on its own. It's a pain in the butt to back up. So personally, get like one of these or like it's from this row and below or what you want. You don't want any of these because they're all on their own little front thing there. Auger wagons, I don't use auger wagons often, but when I do, I usually use this one. The J&Ms are good. I like them. They hold a lot. They do require a lot of horsepower, but they hold a lot and they're really good for their price. Like, this one holds, or some people like to use this one as well. This is a more popular one than I know of. But people also like to use the mother bin if they're going to be doing a really big field harvest. But it depends on how much grain you plan on putting in your auger wagon. Like, it depends on the size of the field, the amount of grain you're going to be putting into the auger wagon. Because I know some people who don't even fill up their auger wagon halfway until they start filling up their normal trailer. So, really, it depends on what you're going to be putting into the auger wagon. Like corn, and you're harvesting a big field of corn, get this one. If you're harvesting a small cornfield, put it into this one. You're not going to ever really want to. The goal of an auger wagon is you fill it up and you put it into your semi-truck or into your, like, silo. It's so that you aren't constantly... It's so you can be moving around, but your semi-truck and trailer stay still. And so they can easily be run by someone else, and someone can be driving this auger wagon, still unloading the semis, or not the semis, the combines, while the semis may be full and offloading into the silos. That's the point of these. It's not so that you could just use this to go back and forth from silo in your thing. It's so that you unload it into the semi-truck. It depends on the size of your semi-truck as well. That's the other thing. If you're using like one of these or one of these, like if you're using this, don't get an auger wagon. You don't need an auger wagon if you're using one of those. If you're going to use one of those and you need an auger wagon, get this one. It's small, and it fills up about half of this with one thing. If you're going to be using a semi-truck, it depends on the size of the trailer. It's completely up to that. And these just are pointless. Never use any of these. These are useless. We already went over these ones. Ooh, now we should probably move on to sprayers. So sprayers, these are an interesting topic. When it comes to sprayers, it depends on how big your field is. My personal opinion, never want to buy these ones. They're big, but they don't hold a ton of spray for what you're gonna do. Once, like I've said, for everything so far that involves width, it depends on the field you are using it on. Like if I'm, let's say like I'm using it on, if the game was save, let's say I'm using a sprayer on field uh 24. I would probably want to use one of these because it's a big field and I need to get it done quickly because I have no time on my hands or something. If it's like a medium-sized field, get one of these. If it's a super small field and you just want to get done in one pass, use this and then maybe out on the extra take if you really want to. That's when it comes to sprays. Manure spreaders, nobody really uses those, but if you wanted to use them, it doesn't really matter. They all do the exact same thing and they relatively have the exact same horsepower. So fertilizer spreaders, I usually use this one because the problem with this one is there's a really small tank. So you're going to be unloading and using it way too often, and you're going to be needing to refill it super, super often. And it only does solid fertilizer. This one also does only solid fertilizer. These ones, the only one that does lime and solid fertilizer is this. This one you can use both on. You can change the size of it. It's super good. Super, like, it's right in between that price range. It's perfect for what you're going to be using it for. Rollers, doesn't really matter. Weeders, I usually use. Okay, this is a topic people don't like to argue with me about. I use this one. This one is $5,000 more than this, but you still get 3 extra meters. This one's, you can put this onto its maximum for 86,000. This one is 67,000, but this one has different sizes you could use it on, and just by this base 15.3 meters, it's bigger than this one, and it's relatively in between this. And yes, it is huge, relatively large for no reason. It's a good weeder. I recommend it. Slurry tanks, doesn't really matter, depends. Headers and harvesters. Okay, so if you're starting off the game, they usually give you the Massey, I'm pretty sure, when you start off the game. When you're upgrading your combine, you need to think about what you're putting in your fields and how much and how big the field is when buying a combine. If you have like 3 massive fields and then like a couple small ones, get like one of these because these run decently sized headers. So get one of these guys if you're gonna get that because they run decent sized headers. If you have mainly medium fields, like mainly medium small fields, but you have maybe one big field, buy like this thing. This thing has some decently sized headers for good medium fields, and then maybe you could buy one of these on the side as well, and then you get a little bit of a bigger pipe on it as well. That's my opinion on these. Headers is based on the combine you use. So headers is up to you on that one. Forage harvesting, it doesn't really matter. They all do relatively the exact same thing. I recommend getting the cheapest one because the cheapest one, not this one. This one's doo doo. But I recommend getting the cheapest one like this one. It's just this one is cheapest and it literally does the exact same thing as all the other ones. There's no point in getting anything else. This once again depends on what you're using. Header trailers are up to you guys if you want to use those. Mowers. Okay, mowers. I usually use, when it comes to mowers, if it's a big field, I use this. I don't usually do big fields of grass. If it's a big field, I don't use these. This one is, I don't like the Vermeer mowers. I don't like them. They're ugly, stupid. I get this one, usually, when I'm mowing a field. It's decently sized, it doesn't require a ton of horsepower, and it does the job. Tedders, I usually use this one or this one. Now, the only reason why I would use this on a big field, this is what I usually would use. Like, these are what I use on a smaller field. Windrowers, I usually use this one or this one. Probably would be better if you use this one because this one's so much, it's like not even like 1.5 meter bigger. It's, just get this one. This is like the windrower you would want. If you're using a big field, use the biggest one, obviously, if it's in your price range. Transporting bales, once again, depends on the bale you're using. These ones are not auto-load. There's no base game auto-load ones. I just recommend getting a modded auto-load one. I'm pretty sure all platforms have an auto-load bale trailer or auto-load trailer of some sort. Round balers, I use this one because it comes with the wrap attachment as well. And this one's just way overkill. No point in this ever. You don't need this. This is also overkill. Like, I don't know what's going on here. I don't want to know what's going on here. So yeah, this one is like cheap. It looks good, and you can find it. Actually, I find this baler so often on the used place. If you want a square one, don't get these. They make super small bales, and they're a pain. If you're gonna use it, rent it, like lease it. If you just need it for a short amount of time, you're gonna want to lease it. When it comes to making a square bale, use like one of these ones. They all make the exact same size bales. It's just different horsepowers and different speeds that you can run them at, but they're all relatively the same. Wrappers, it doesn't really matter. It depends on the bale that you're using as well. Like this one is the one that I usually use because it can do both. This one is for rounds. These are for rounds. This one, I don't know how to use these. These ones confuse me, to be honest. I don't use those. Let's see, anything else here? Oh, animals. Forage mixers. It depends on how many cows or animals you have. If you're just starting off the game at like the main farm where they give you like 3-ish cows, use this one. There's no point in getting one of these big ones. Or buy one that you place out on the map. It doesn't require you to make the mixture yourself. That's what I usually do. But if you're trying to go no mods at all, get this. If you're going to be using big cows, you got a lot of cows, get this one. Don't get this one because this one's just so pointless. This one has more horsepower and it holds like only 1 square meter less. This one has less horsepower and holds only 1 square meter more. There's no point. Or get this one. This one is super good. You hold a lot in it and it's pretty easy to fill up. I don't have a problem with that one. Water trailers, it once again depends on how many animals you have. Animal transport, I don't usually do that. I just buy them straight at the pen. Straw blowers, really doesn't matter which one you use. I use this one usually because it's got the little forklift thing on the back, makes it easier to pick up the bales into it. But when it comes to food, you could buy their food if you really wanted to, but I don't. Miscellaneous, I don't get a fuel trailer. A lot of people I know get fuel trailers, but I find them to be pointless in my opinion. Overall, I think that's relatively everything I would want to use if I'm starting out or like late. So, hope this video helps you if you're trying to start out playing like FS25 and you're like trying to figure out what you want to do in the game and what tractors and equipment to buy. Hope this helps you when you buy this game and purchase it and play it. So, hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.